Hello friends, a very warm welcome to UnSarkari. I am Vikas Bhardwaj. Continuing our understanding of fundamental concepts, because these fundamental concepts are going to create your base and later on you can be smart enough to create a structure, and that structure can only help you to write something different, something special in the mains examination. That is why we are picking up very core, very fundamental and important topics. For example, linkages between media and civil society. Very important and thorough topic for general studies and also for ethics. Even you can write an essay, and also for different optional subjects including political science, public administration, sociology, anthropology, and even you can say literature subjects. So we have heard the term media. We are also familiar with the term social media. We are also familiar with the term civil society. But then, do you know very important causes and very important topics which may not be taken up by the government directly will be taken up by the civil society? Can you suggest one topic? Can you think of one topic, for example, in the national capital, or you can say the capital of India, that is New Delhi? If you are representing civil society, what topic will you pick up? Will you pick up air pollution? Will you pick up cleaning of river Yamuna? Will you pick up rampant unplanned urbanization? What you will pick up? And then media becomes a medium to spread those ideas. So my question to you before we get into details, that is, does media act as a watchdog of democracy or as a power broker in civil society? When we say that majority of channels, majority of newspapers, if they are being captured, if they are being subjugated by one conglomerate or one corporate power, are they able to represent people's voice, or they are representing government's voice? This is what you have to think, and you will appreciate, and you will be able to make more justification for your studies. So media as a public sphere, we know and we practice in India from independent times. We have seen that it is a very crucial element in the public sphere. It is the fourth pillar of democracy. Even please go and Google about Press Council of India, the role of Press Council of India, and see its power structure, see the structure of its organization, and see its contribution. It is media which provides civil society a forum, as I just said, for debate and expression. That is why evening debates on the television shows, it actually shapes the political discourse. Who is being sent by political parties to debate, and then what kind of ideas they are putting up, and so forth. That is how public debate and the public opinion forms. And then obviously it influences state decisions and policies, whether it is about forest, whether it is about environment clearance, whether it is about education, whether it is about our cultural values. As our prime minister keeps on speaking, we must decolonize our mind and our thinking. We must be proud of what India was, what India is, and what India can be. That is by 2047 a Viksit Bharat. For example, coverage of farmers' protest in 2021, it shaped national debate and policy reconsideration, that we know very well, in the first tenure of Honorable Prime Minister. And then later on, it continued in the second tenure also. So, can media debates truly represent the diversity of civil society voices? Do you agree? If you agree, then write a short answer and illustrate your answer in a critical way. Public sphere, but then public sphere is actually having any limitations or not? So there must be a boundary. That is why there is an imagined boundary between the civil society and the state. Civil society cannot say anything, everything all the time. It may be misused by anti-Indian forces, it may be used by anti-social forces, it may be used by those who are our enemies, and it may be used to vitiate the atmosphere. But what it must do, it must promote citizens' logical discussion. That is why you must remember, please note it down. Habermas said the media is the public sphere's preeminent institution. It is the public sphere's preeminent institution. That means there is no substitute to it. That means it must be alive, it must be promoted. Televised Lok Sabha debates and media discussions, they create a visible public sphere. So my question to you, which you must be writing in 50 to 100 words when we have personal discussions, is the public sphere in India dominated by the elites or open to grassroots voices? What do you think? So media's role in civil society is also very important because it facilitates presentation of multiple viewpoints. Why multiple viewpoints? Because someone will be talking from the perspective of say government, someone will be talking from the perspective of say elite section, someone will be talking from the perspective of common man, someone will be talking from the perspective of women or even students or even workers, peasants, and so forth. So there can be stakeholder groups. So media is encouraging debate that we agree. It is also encouraging conversation through opinions, through polls, and through surveys, and it is also helping in dissemination of knowledge because it is providing some authentic and grassroots knowledge. Some, for example, Indian Express, it always comes up with certain kind of investigation series in which it investigates not only public projects but also uh, money laundering, those who are putting their money into tax havens and the role, and it, for example, running a series on cyber crime, cyber frauds, and how one can be, preventing themselves from such kind of harassment. So what media is trying to do? Media is trying to help civil society also, and media is trying to impact policy and governance. So one example is RTI Act 2005. It got traction through civil society activism and it was amplified by media campaigns. For example, if I give you one example, say in order to curb pollution in Delhi, Delhi government went on to take support of artificial rain. So artificial rainfall may not be successful in the one go, the experiment might not be successful, but then RTI only will be telling that rupees 38 lakh have been spent on the same. So that is why it brings into debate, it brings into question. So does media amplify civil society's strength in certain way or it distort it through sensationalism? What do you think? And what must be the way forward? Write 5 points. So what we can agree, there is interdependence, another key word of media and civil society. Media supplements civil society. It is helping civil society to raise and to sustain its voice. Media is giving platform for voices, the voices which may not be heard, but now government will be forced to hear it. So civil society, which is supplementing media with the content, with the activism, and with the legitimacy. Content means issue, any important topic, say for example, primary education. Activism means that government schools and other schools they must behave in certain way where education is up to the mark. And legitimacy means that it is a very important topic for all sections of society. So together media and civil society they checks on state power. For example, India against corruption movement in 2011. Civil society protest plus media coverage it pressured government reforms. For example, I am giving you one small assignment you do on your own. The statehood formation of Uttarakhand state. It also very important example the role of civil society and the role of media. So civil society is supplementing media with the content and media is supplementing civil society to raise its voice by giving platform. So my question to you is who influences policy more, media or the civil society behind it? Whom do you think is actually the more important, or both of them are important? Write in a critical way and submit your answer. So what we can conclude, media, public spheres institution that we agree, you must be writing these points in your answers. Civil society is a space for free, very important, free association and deliberation. There must not be any kind of constricted or any kind of restricted or rigid dialogue. Like our constitution promotes uh, many positive ideas. Similarly, the civil society also must do so. So, both media and civil society they help in democratic accountability because they are holding government accountable. They are asking government to raise those important issues and they may be influencing policy. They may also help in conflict resolution where there is a deadlock or where there is not everybody is on the same you can say platform or you can say same kind of level to understand, and it may also influence policy. For example, Supreme Court PILs, because PIL, that is public interest litigation, is a very important and a very dynamic tool to raise voices for those very fundamental issues which may not be taken up by the government directly or which may be actually not able to come up in the limelight. Say, for example, what must be happening with the children who are lost, you know, or topics like custodial torture in the police stations. Why there must not be CCTVs in all the police thanas all across India and also in the specialized agencies including CBI, ED, and so forth. Or for that matter, women's status in society and also women's rights and also their wages. So, what I'm trying to give you an example that civil society is amplifying such issues, media is putting them on on their front pages, and then courts are also picking up through PILs. So in India's democracy, media is the voice of civil society, or it has become a parallel power center. What do you think about media? Is the media voice of civil society, or it has become a parallel power center, thereby negating the role of the government, thereby questioning the role of the government, even if government is going in the right way? What do you think? And how do you write a very critical 100 words note by which you will be able to take your stand? Please write back. So thank you very much, and we will be seeing more subtopics in the series so that you can understand and correlate your everyday journal studies, your college studies, your specialized studies, and even your optional subject studies in a very critical and smart way. Thank you very much.